I don't think it's crazy to look at the mayoral race in LA and say, something isn't adding up here. Something doesn't seem right. It doesn't matter which way you vote. I think that that should alarm you. Something isn't right there. It's statistically almost impossible what happened after election day there with all these mail-in ballots. You're telling me even more mail-in ballots came in for Nithya Raman than Karen Bass. And how can virtually none be for Spencer Pratt? I'm sorry, it's not adding up. And you're gonna have a lot of people saying, oh, cry hard or sore loser, things like that. Well, I don't live in LA. I have been very into politics for a very long time. I know how elections are supposed to work. We all do. I think that's why a lot of people are looking and going, well, hold on a second. This isn't normal. Something's off. Something's odd. I don't think it's strange for people to say, is this what Gavin Newsom meant by breaking the glass? We need our elections across the board, across the country, to be fair, to be regulated, to be streamlined, so that we all can trust that our vote counted, mattered, and
But the thing is, the person who might be most upset about all of this, not a Republican, but the incumbent mayor of Los Angeles, Democrat Karen Bass. With us now is Chief Data Analyst Harry Enton. What am I talking about here?
Yeah, this is the dumbest conspiracy theory I have ever heard, because the Democratic establishment and Karen Bass wanted Spencer Pratt in the runoff. They don't want any part to do with Nithya Raman. Why is that? Because just take a look here. Okay, mayor runoff polls, Bass versus opponent versus Pratt. Bass would have crushed Pratt by 18 points. That's what the polling showed. Look at how she does against Nithya Raman, on the other hand. Raman is ahead by 4 points. Bass has a real race on her hand if, in fact, Raman is the one who advances. And, of course, the Democratic establishment is backing Karen Bass. But versus Spencer Pratt, she was crushing him. She wanted to face Pratt. She wanted nothing to do with Raman.
Yes, if you take a look at this tweet, if the crazy Democrats are willing to do this in order to prevent Karen Bass from facing Spencer Pratt in a local city election in California, imagine what they will be willing to do in the congressional midterm elections. This is something Elon Musk actually posted because everybody is concerned with what Democrats would do during the midterm elections. This is just a small election, but the kind of weight this election carries is something I've not seen in a long time. Yeah. Have you realized everybody is talking about this for almost weeks because of Spencer Pratt? Now it turned against that, oh, this lady defeated Spencer Pratt. And do you know that Democrats are actually not even excited because Karen Bass is running against this person?
I want to take this time to thank LA. Thank you for making sure Spencer Pratt had no chance in hell in getting in that mayor's seat.
By about 3,000 votes into that critical second place spot. If Raman holds on to her lead, she'll advance to the runoff election against Mayor Karen Bass in the fall. Now, before the ballot dump yesterday, Spencer Pratt posted in part writing, "We've got all the way till July 6th to keep counting. They're not the only ones who know where to find votes." Now, moments after the new numbers came in, Mayor Karen Bass's campaign released a statement attacking Raman and labeling Raman her general election opponent, seemingly ruling out a Pratt comeback. A Bass spokesperson writing, "We look forward to winning a contest against an opponent who allows encampments near schools and fights against hiring more cops, yet is MIA on saving Hollywood jobs and fighting back when ICE invades LA." Now, on Friday, we interacted with an assistant U.S. attorney inside the ballot counting facility here. The DOJ says he was observing, and the first assistant U.S. attorney in LA, Bill Asaley, says California has refused to give the federal government its voter rolls and allows first-time voters to use IDs like gym and debit cards. Asaley also writes, California allows third parties to collect and turn in ballots on voters' behalf, a practice known as ballot harvesting with few restrictions. This makes it difficult to track who actually received, completed, and submitted each ballot. Now, Asaley says there are ongoing voter fraud investigations here in Southern California. He points to a recent woman who was arrested for allegedly paying people on Skid Row to register to vote. Bill, Dana.
Matt Finn, thank you. Nice to see
It was a little shaky. It was a little shaky, but he lost. He will not be in the runoff, okay? And the GOP is pissed off about it. The GOP and Wigs R Us, they want to withhold federal funds from the state of California because they're claiming election fraud because Spencer Pratt did not get into the runoff. Saying there's no way in hell Rahman could have beat Spencer Pratt in the last minute. It's like y'all don't know that votes are counted slowly. On top of that, I'm about to give you a 2-for-1.
You know, this has actually exposed the whole system, how what these people have been doing for a very long time. And if care is not taken, we might see a lot of worse things that we have not seen in a long time. Now, people are calling into the Supreme Court to take drastic decision to look into this. I watched a video coming from CNN. They're telling us that this is a conspiracy that they never expected. Because according to the polls that CNN has been putting out, this lady was actually behind Karen Bass in the polls. Spencer Pratt was way behind. Few days to the election, Spencer Pratt just rise up on social media, started training. That was the whole story. Now CNN believes that that is something we should have expected, that people should not be crying that Spencer lost because he never had a chance.
People tend to not trust elections when it takes a real long time to count votes. LA and California in general need to figure out how to do this quicker. Change the laws so you can do it in one day. Florida has a lot of mail-in and they get their results the same night. It makes people feel like, oh, something's off, but there's not. That's how their rules are.
I feel the exact opposite. I think if someone is taking their time to count the votes, I think if someone is looking at every single thing, because in California, it's the most populous state. We all know that. And they actually have signature verification. So they look at every single signature. And if those signatures do not match what they have on file, they then go back to the person and they say, was this you? And so it does take a long time to be right, to do it well.
Why can Florida do it right in one night, though?
I don't think you can do it when you have 23 million registered voters. It's just not possible. And so
I think it is.
It's not possible.
Candela, I think it is. It's because they don't. It's the mail-in voting. They don't start counting them until election day.
You could start counting 80% of those votes. So that's the problem. Mail-in voting counts for 80% of the votes. The only time Republicans started having a problem with mail-in voting is when Democrats started to use mail-in voting. Then I think 1%. Tell me in my ear if I'm wrong, but it's like less than 1%.
But if you're really...
Are Democrats cheating?
Listen, in 2019, the Tom Fitton with Judicial Watch sued Los Angeles County. And what did they find? Los Angeles County hadn't kicked anyone off their voter rolls for over 20 years.
It's worth a conversation, but the reality is that it's really important not to conflate the system working as it was intended to work.
You know, I don't expect these people to lower their tone when they are talking about this, because they will always say things that doesn't make sense. Look at Sonny Olsen. She will obviously support Democrat. Like, I understand she went against Spencer Pratt. Oh, Spencer Pratt is not qualified. Now, looking at this guy, he says everything is okay. It is working as intended. They are very comfortable with the system. Not surprising, right? But it is embarrassing. I want to appreciate people supporting, sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. I will continue to report, show you the truth. As of the short clips you see at the end, that's a white algorithm. You can always skip.
California, bad ideas tend to originate there. Mail-in ballots. You see people working.
Advance to the general election in the fall. The question is, who will take that number 2 slot?
It has jumped into second place, passing the Republican Spencer Pratt.
Okay, so with all eyes on California, you can see exactly what's happening. They're doing what we talked about yesterday.
Calling bullcrap on this.
We're 5 days in, and the count goes on here in the Golden State.
In 39 days, we will know the winner. Oh, no, that's the mayor of L.A. I'm sorry. What a state this is. But apparently...
So this is breaking news. Everyone that supports me is a Democrat.
Encouraging our fans not to vote for Pratt. For a fan.
Seeing this city just fall apart.
Mayorship, insurance companies, they don't have to pay for people to rebuild their homes.
Karen Bass.
I just wanted to...
These cases with...
Can't keep streetlights
in California. Now you realize people everywhere in America make fun of people.
And so this is my life.
You're talking about qualification.
In California, I have family in LA.
Chelsea Handler, she's not a fan. Said me.
The only people that aren't are the socialists.
2010.